On behalf of Plan International, I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this session and thank you for joining us today. Inclusive quality education has been one of the most critical focus areas for us at Plan International as it is a fundamental child right and there are lifelong benefits of good education, which most likely result in making informed career and life choices. We believe that schools also play a most critical role in creating inclusive, resilient communities. We have seen how children have been instrumental as change agents in promoting resilient communities. This session later today will explore critical connectors of gender equitable, accessible WASH in schools and building community resilience. I would like to thank the conveners of this session, Water for Women, Live and Learn, and Plan International Australia. Water for Women is Australian government's flagship WASH program and is being delivered as part of Australia's aid program. I would also like to thank our implementing partner, Live and Learn. The project examples in this session are taken from an Australian aid initiative implemented by Plan International Australia in partnership with Live and Learn Environmental Education on behalf of Australian government. I would specially like to acknowledge PNG and Solomon Island country teams from both Plan and Live and Learn. I wish all of you an interesting session and looking forward to your engagement and contribution with ideas, recommendations, and questions. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Michelle Abel. I work with Live and Learn Environmental Education to support WASH in schools activities across the South Pacific. We're excited today to be able to highlight the voices of our committed staff and school partners in sharing how WASH in schools builds resilience. Schools are important hubs in the community. They're often proud community assets, a central place for meetings and for community events. They provide shelter in emergencies, and in many countries they are the dedicated emergency facilities for a community. They also provide structure and opportunities for children. These are all foundations of a resilient community. Live and Learn commenced WASH in schools work in the South Pacific several years ago, utilising the UniStaff three-star standard concept that came from the Philippines. We have produced a series of resources that can be used by government officials, school leadership, teachers and students to work through incremental improvements to the provision of water, sanitation facilities and promotion of hygiene practices in schools. These resources are all freely available and you can download them from the Live and Learn website. In the beginning, when we started our work with schools, we were working mostly at a grassroots level with staff and students in local communities, while also advocating for national water and sanitation standards. Partners such as UNICEF were working at the higher level with schools, education ministries in countries working on school policies and standards. And now it's been wonderful to see over the last 5 years how these two grassroots and top-down approaches have come together to form a much more resilient WASH in schools sectoral environment. This is a positive step in the path to resilience, but a significant challenge remains in the provision of adequate water and sanitation and hygiene facilities at school. Access remains a major problem. Most schools simply cannot generate enough income through their own planning or their own fundraising to construct the infrastructure that is actually needed to meet the minimum national standards, particularly for toilets. Severe weather events are increasing due to climate change, and in countries across the South Pacific, governments can't keep up with the repairs that are required to school infrastructure after significant events such as tropical cyclones. COVID-19 has also impacted the WASH in Schools program across all of the countries where we work. It has impacted with children having to remain home from school or disrupting school learning, but it has also had a significant impact on the construction of hand washing facilities and the promotion of careful hand washing, which was something that has always been part of the WASH in Schools program. And the COVID-19 responses and promotions have been a great strength for hand washing promotion. Research with school leaders, teachers, parents, and students show that children's education remains one of the highest priorities for a family. And there's a significant commitment at a school level to provide high quality learning environments that also include making the schools healthy places for students. This is all contributing to strengthened resilience at schools, but it highlights the importance of Washington school programs to be supported by good policies and standards, but also the design and construction of appropriate climate resilient infrastructure.
I'm Lucebula and I'm from the western part of the Solomon Islands. I worked as a WASH project officer for the New Times New Target project under Live and Learn in partnership with Plan Internationals. Gender and social inclusion activities in the Solomon Islands remain a new and controversial subject despite continuous efforts to raise the level of awareness in the rural communities. Schools provide the perfect platform for gender and social inclusion because of the neutrality of its learning environment. Some 6,000 boys and girls in rural Guadalcanal are part of the New Times New Targets efforts to raise gender and social inclusion awareness, and the results are incredible. Within 2 years of implementation, the schools now see not only women and girls, but men and boys advocating for menstrual health and gender hygiene. A key platform that we use mainly to engage with schools is global days, such as Menstrual Health and Hygiene Days. Such days are filled with awareness raising, quizzes, showcasing of menstrual hygiene products, and practical hand washing sessions. We also engage teachers and students to participate in WASH training to increase the knowledge to become WASH advocates in schools and communities. Through WASH Global Day celebrations, communities have the opportunity to listen to awareness talks done by WASH committee teachers and WASH club member students to trigger behavior change in the communities. For example, students requesting parents to build proper toilet and hand washing facilities in their homes. Not only that, but understanding issues related to lack of information on menstrual hygiene. Communities have accepted open discussion on menstrual hygiene topic despite of cultural taboos. By involving communities in such program, they have come to realize and understand gender issues.
This time, I'm different now after awareness of the girls also come attending classes freely despite of menstruation blockade also come attending classes, and also okay come forward freely for us for advices and so as for materials time what are in need during time long menstruation blockade. Um, so as boys too or to stop teasing of the girls because what got them understanding that menstruation is natural and him normal.
Hi, I'm Cecilia from Live and Learn Environmental Education, Papua New Guinea. The WINS program is a new concept to most teachers, students, and school stakeholders, but it is now gaining momentum where teachers are now teaching health in structured lessons using teaching resources that are provided by Live and Learn. And also students' WASH clubs that are formed are timetabled for an hour weekly. Teachers are also well equipped in knowledge or with knowledge through the TOT WASH trainings that are conducted in the different WASH topics. To support and strengthen resilient WASH in schools, the project is now captured and prioritized into the school sleep budget, and it's reviewed after every 5 years by the School Board of Management. So all schools now have a school WASH committee established to oversee and monitor all WASH facilities and help to raise funds for operation and maintenance of school WASH facilities. Live and Learn has also trained and built the capacity of its school WASH committees to formulate 3 very important documents, which are the WASH Improvement Plan, the Operation Maintenance Plan, and the School WASH Policy to sustain WASH in schools. And during WASH global events, teachers and students invite the nearby communities to come with sanitation products like slab and razors, soap made from herbs, which the mothers come and do sales there, as well as other products like pot plants or molded hand washing basins or sinks, other like a model of a compost toilet, which are put on display, just to give more awareness on people living along the coast to build compost toilet. So even with a lot of challenges we are facing, we'll put a lot more effort and hopefully achieve 100% WAS coverage according to the Papua New Guinea National Government WAS policy in the 23 schools where Live and Learn is working with.
Hi there, everyone. Greetings to you. I'm Mr. Noah Benson, a senior teacher here at Mayong Primary School in Iwalen, Papua New Guinea. Since the inception of the Live and Learn organization and the programs they're running in Mayong Primary School, I would say that the students and teachers' participation is 100%. It has driven that confidence in students to take pride and has also contributed in gender participation between students, especially the boys. The students learn about menstrual hygiene, health and other hygiene behaviors in school, and it has contributed also academically to the achievement of our students in the school. The programs that we run here in school has already also influenced the community at large. When they go back to the community, they encourage their parents. Hey, look, we have to wash our hands before we eat. They become agents of change.
My name is Claudia Dalet and I'm a WAS Water Sanitation and Hygiene Officer with Plan International PNG. We would see sector strengthening as working collaboratively with Department of Education, Department of Health, the political members of Autonomous Region of Bougainville, with Department of Education as the leading agency in WAS in School. We have been collecting WAS in Schools data to understand school WAS status across the region. With the usage of the M-Water application, we have been feeding that into the national monitoring system. With the baseline data that we have collected, we are supporting the development of the North Bougainville District WAS plan that we are trying to come up with, and that includes WAS in schools and establishing a roadmap to achieve the local and national targets within the country and in Bougainville. We also been engaging the District Development Authority, the DDA, and the political members to help and assist fund some of the WAS infrastructure in the schools that we are targeting. And we also have been working with the WAS committee in the schools that we are targeting, and they have been fully participating and taking part in improving WAS in their school. Recently, we have been conducting the TOT trainings. That's training of trainers for the teachers to help them improve and understand what WAS is and how they can prioritize WAS in their schools. So we're doing it collaboratively with the PNCs and the Board of Management, Department of Education, Department of Health, the political members, the district development authorities to help us do and strengthen the sector, and so that we can work collaboratively to improve WAS in school here in the Autonomous Region of Bougainville.
Our achievement so far with the assistance for WAS program in the school, I should really thank and say that we have achieved so far 70% of our programs in the school regarding WAS facilities.
Wash with soap today. Scrub, scrub, scrub your hands. Rinse your hands today. Dry, dry, dry well dry. Dry well dry today. Dry, 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 well, dry, dry, well, dry today. High five!